All right, we are back with another episode of Your Relationship Sucks! Exclamation point College Confessions edition. I love college confessions. Maybe my favorite thing in the world. These kids are so stupid. And they sound.
Did you do the exclamation? Did you do the exclamation mark?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, I'm sorry.
They sound exactly. These kids sound exactly like I used to sound. That's what we're here for. We are trying to help them not make the same mistakes that, well, really I made when I was younger. That's what I'm trying to do here. I'm just trying to help some people out. So we're going to get into it. But for those who don't know, this is all off the top. I haven't seen this question. I don't know. The only thing I know is that it's a college confession. That's all I know. So everything you hear is improvised. This is all off the top. So we're going to learn together. But you know what's going on. So you're going to try to steer me at least a little bit. Don't risk all my reputation here. But I am putting it on the line. I put it on the line every time we do a show. I'm putting my reputation on the line because I don't know what's coming out of my mouth. I sort of black out. It's kind of like Will Ferrell in Old School, just sort of debating. It happens, and then I get done, and I sort of forget every single thing that I said. It is what it is. And then you tell me at the end whether or not, it was good, which is fine. But we don't edit. This is not, there's no edits. There's nothing. I'm too lazy to do it. I'm not going to do that. So I am excited. Let's jump into it. Initial impressions. Hit me with it. What do you got?
My best friend sent nudes to my boyfriend.
Oh, shit. Honestly, I love this question. My initial impression is that, number one, I think this should happen way more often. This is a super interesting thing to watch people react to. I love it. I think maybe this entire show should just be questions like this. I like just this question, but just with different people. Honestly, this is an unbelievable question. Secondly, how is this not happening all the time? Like the amount of nude pics that you could send. I just assume everybody's sending nude pics to everybody at this point. Like I just assume that's just like a thing that you do. Like you just give people nude pics. It's like a business card. So I'm not even sure.
Do you think you think that most people are sending nude pics all the time?
I don't know. Maybe I'm sending too many nude pics. I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm just like I'm sending a copious amount of nude pics and people are like, whoa, bro. Like, what are you doing? It's like 100 times the amount of nude pics that the average human being sends, Like on a bell curve, you are all the way on the right, maybe pared back a touch. That's very possible. That might be happening. I'm not sure.
Do you send a lot of unsolicited nude pics?
I have literally never one time sent an unsolicited nude pic, so I don't like I've genuinely never understood people who are like, I'm just gonna open with the nude pic or whatever. Like at any point, like I'm just gonna send you a nude pic because it's hard to take that back. Like you can't take back like, hey, here's my dick. You can't take that back. Honestly, that's tough.
A guy's dick is usually not the best looking part of them. Even if it's a good dick.
No, it's not pretty.
On the person. Well, if your dick is the most attractive part of you, that's unfortunate. Like, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, honestly, honestly, here's the thing. If you think that your dick is the most attractive thing about you, you could definitely send us an email with your face and your dick just because I want to see what somebody who's like that thinks that that's the case. Put that in the subject line so like you don't have to look at it. You know what I mean? So like because I'll look at it. Whatever, I don't care.
That will be the one thing that you'll.
Yeah, 100%. Because I don't like because if I would never like I'm not the most handsome guy in the world, but I've never thought like, hey, you know what? I think my dick looks better than my face. Now, whether that's me just convincing myself that like I have a prettier face than my penis or whatever, like I don't know, it could be. But like I've never one time have I ever considered, hey, I think my penis is more appealing visually than all of the parts of my face. So I've never understood that. I have never one time sent an unsolicited dick pic. I've never actually sent like an unsolicited picture. I'm not somebody, I don't send a lot of pictures. I would say, honestly, I would say most of the pictures I send are nude pictures, honestly. Because I don't take pictures of other things. It is what it is. But like, I've never sent like an unsolicited one because I don't understand the appeal. Like, again, maybe for me, I don't know, but for my general understanding is that women more often than not are more auditory than they are visual. And so what that says to me is that my sext game has to be tight and I need to be able to sext well. And that's something that like I try to do to stoke the fires through words. Now it's not it's not audible. I understand that, but it's along those lines, right? Like they can imagine. Because here's the thing:
you're tapping into the part of the brain that's going to get them off, absolutely, instead of sending them the part of the brain that's going to get you off. Seems logical.
Here's the deal: no matter what I look like, and it's definitely not like Fabio, I'll tell you that right now. But no matter what I look like, whatever they imagine in their head is going to be better than anything I can do. That's a fact. That's the sad fact of the matter, is that my dick game is not tight enough to be like, you literally can't imagine something that's better than the actual reality-based experience that I am going to give you when we are together physically. That's how it is. Like, it just doesn't happen. I know that. So I don't think in my head, well, let me send them a picture of me because that's going to get them off, because they're going to see it and they're going to be like, that's reality. And I'm like, that's not great, you know? So I have to be like, hey, there's something over here and here's some words so you can imagine some shit in your head and sort of, get yourself working. And I don't have to reveal the fucking, the actual wizard behind the curtain. You know what I mean? Because you see him and you're like, this guy's like 4'7". What's up? Why is he controlling this entire world of yellow brick road? And that's the problem. Right. So, but even if I had, like, even if it was like, look, I have the biggest penis in the world, I don't think that I could just send something and be like, here it is, because it's not visual. Like, that's a thing. It's just a thing. And there's so much more that goes on, at least from my understanding, there's so much more that goes on in a woman's head when she's thinking about it. And the touch and the smell and all the sensations and just everything that's happening, that you can actually stoke those with the words, right? So that's what I do. I send the words, but also because you can like send, because again, you can't send a test dick pic. You know what I mean? Like, you send a dick pic or you don't. It's not like a test. You can't be like, hey, let's do this. And then if it doesn't work, I'll be like, just kidding. Like, you can't do that, because they're like, that's my penis. So
you can't come back. And it's not played out well.
No, you can't come back from that. That's my thing. But if you send words, that's the key. I could send any number of words, and they're like, if they're receptive, then they'll send a couple words back, and I'm like, all right, now it's on. Here's a fucking paragraph that I typed up, 3 hours ago or whatever. Or they're like, whoa, no thanks. And then I can be like, oh, whatever, and come up with an excuse, right? Like, that's what I can do. So I've never understood that thought. But with the way people are sharing shit online these days, and like, it's not the 1950s. Like, people aren't just showing ankle anymore. I just assume everybody's sending pics to everybody. So I don't know. I guess maybe I'm just, because again, almost every picture. It's very possible, but almost like a majority of the pictures that I send, like a super majority of the pictures that I send are nudes. Like, of all the pictures I send, a super majority of them are nude pictures of me to people that I want to see me in that manner. So maybe I'm just skewed. Maybe my brain is skewed, and other people or whatever. But I just assume everybody's just sending naked pictures all the time. So this girl who's saying this, and she's like,
I wonder what that says about you.
I don't know. It's very possible.
It's not good.
I don't know. It's not great. But them to be like, for this girl to be like, hey, my friend is sending it to my boyfriend. I get it. And so I think I'm actually on her side. It's a very long-winded way of saying I think I'm on her side.
The friend side?
No. On the girl's side.
Okay, the girlfriend side.
Yeah. Because I do feel very strongly about that sort of thing. Like that's something that I would never consider doing that.
Like the dick pic etiquette.
Yeah. And again, it's not because I'm a better person than anybody. It's just, that's not something that crosses my mind. Like, hey, I wonder if I can turn my buddy's girlfriend on or whatever. Like I don't think about it. So it's not that I'm better. It's just, I never really thought about that before.
Yeah. I don't know how many people think about.
I don't know, but maybe a lot. I have no idea. But like, they're single friends. Sure. Absolutely. But like they're, people who are in relationships, especially if it's with my friend, like immediately I'm just like, no, thanks. So I think I'm with her. I guess I'm just surprised. My initial reaction is, I guess I'm just surprised that this is happening because I just assumed this wasn't a big deal. So I don't know. So let's actually get to the question. It's been long enough. Let's get to the actual question. Let's see what's happening.
It has been. My 22-year-old female best friend, a 22-year-old female, added my boyfriend, a 23-year-old male, on social media a week or so ago. Neither of them said anything. I just saw that my boyfriend had her in his friends list. I asked him about that, and he just said she added him. They never really talk. I think they had a couple interactions when my boyfriend and I started dating, but they never talked for at least the last year. So today, she sent nudes to my boyfriend. He showed me the message when he got it. He was shocked, and so was I. She sent him about 5 pictures. I don't know what to even think about it. At first, I thought maybe she meant to send them to her boyfriend, but I really doubt it. As she sent it about 4 hours ago, and she was online most of the time, so there's no way it was a mistake, and she didn't notice.
Okay, I actually agree with that. I guess I agree with that logic. Yeah, that's fine.
There's no question, but
that's it. Okay,
that's it. I think it's more, how do you deal with this?
All right, so this is interesting. So let me get the female perspective, because I have my own thoughts on this, but it's not necessarily concrete in my head yet. So I don't know if I agree or disagree with myself at this point. Do you think so this guy showed this picture on social media or whatever? Do you think it's true that they hadn't spoken in a year? Do you think that part is true? Like, do you believe that part of the story?
I don't know. I mean, part of me does, because he was so honest about, like, it's, she can see, like, this girlfriend, the friend sent the news pictures, and then his response was to immediately show his girlfriend and be like, this is weird. I feel like maybe the most would be, once she added him, that maybe she had been interacting with him a little bit recently since they became friends on social media. I could see that she might have been doing that, like liking stuff or little responses to things he posted.
Yeah.
If he hadn't been, it seemed like he got the pictures and immediately showed them to his girlfriend, and what was kind of like, this is weird, right? Had he not done it immediately, then I would have questioned it a little bit more. But it's weird that year length for her to wait a year. So you think differently, or?
Well, so here's the thing. He is getting unsolicited nude photos from somebody.
Yeah, like 5 of them.
Yeah. I mean, that's like, she's going ham on that.
Yeah.
Like, she's just like, I'm going for it. Again, you can't test a nude photo. Like, it's not, you can't do it. A photo is a photo.
Usually you have some element of trust in them.
Well, so we're going to get into that. Here's the I'm concerned. I can't figure out if he thought it was a test or not. I can't figure it out.
Oh.
I don't like, there's a little part of my brain that is saying, but I can't quite make the story work, where he was like kind of talking to her and then she sent the stuff. And for some reason he thought, well, between now and the time when I would either look at them and then delete them because I wanted these, somehow my girlfriend is going to see these. And so I need to get out in front of this story, even though I've basically requested them somehow, like whenever that was.
Yeah.
And so I need to get out in front of the story. That's one possibility. The other possibility is that he's saying that they've had some sort of conversation. And so like that one seems a little unrealistic to me, because I think if you're requesting them like that you would have been like, hey, don't send them now. You know, like you would have been like, hey, like let's wait until like a very specific time when I'm alone and then you could send them or whatever. So that one doesn't seem as realistic. But and this is where, because she sounds very rational, this girl asking this question sounds very rational. But if she is to be believed, then her friend is batshit crazy.
Yeah, I just thought of another scenario where he had been talking to the best friends in another way. Yeah. And then when they took it on social media, he realized his girlfriend was onto him. So when he got these pictures, he showed her to set up the friend as being psychotic instead of him.
Right. But what I'm saying is, so let's say she's correct.
Which is and kind that of the boyfriend what you just is said, nice. But that doesn't seem like that.
Let's say that the boyfriend is a nice guy and he's showing this and this is completely unbeknownst to him and all of those things, which is fine. Then your friend is fucking batshit crazy and she's trying to steal your man, which tells me that you are someone who will befriend a crazy person. Now, plenty of sane people I know are friends with crazy people. Like that's a thing that happens. But plenty of crazy people are also friends with crazy people. So just because you're friends with a crazy person, I don't know which one you are. But here's another scenario that I have in my head. This guy knows that this friend is crazy. She comes back in from nowhere, starts friending him on social media. He doesn't say anything about it until this girl says something to him. But let's picture another thing about this question asker. She's crazy herself. She's going into his social media page and she is denoting who is new ads and asking him about it. He sees this behavior and says, this girl is crazy. Her friend is also crazy. Her friend randomly sent me these pictures. I think it's a test because I think my girlfriend thinks I'm cheating on her. That's pretty fucking realistic in my head. Now, maybe I'm crazy. And again, this is not a all women are crazy thing. That's not what's happening here. I'm saying this girl very specifically brought it to his attention. She said, hey, you don't talk to this girl. Why are you friends with her? Seems a little suspicious. He says, hey, you know what? She's starting to question me on some stuff. That's a little weird. But hey, she just friended me. I don't know. Like, I didn't do anything. She friended me. It's cool. Now the same girl who I haven't talked to in a year comes back and just randomly sends me these nudes after my girlfriend was questioning me about being friends with her. That seems like a coincidence. It seems a little fishy. What's going on here? I think it's a test. I think she's testing me. I better show her and say, hey, what's up? That seems more realistic. Now, the only problem with that is, why would she ask this question online? I don't know the answer. That part I haven't figured out, but I'm just saying it's a possibility that's realistic. One of two things happened here. Either she's crazy and she's testing her boyfriend, or her friend is crazy and she should stop being friends with her. That's the only two possibilities. I don't see any other reason that this could possibly work, because I don't think that those two scenarios that we came up with for how he could have been asking for these photos are is a realistic scenario. I don't think, it's not plausible to me. So the only two things is either she's friends with one crazy person or they're both crazy, and the implications of those two things can be, either way. And so her friend is crazy in either scenario. Her friend is crazy because either she's fucking full on ride or die, in which case that's a girl that I would love to date. If she's like, her friend's like, hey, will you send 5 nude, will you send a nude picture to my boyfriend because I want to test him to see if he'll show me? And she's like, fuck that, I'm going to send 5. Boom, ride or die. Love that girl. Give me her number, okay? That's number one. Give me her number. We should talk. But either way, that friend is someone who is willing to go above and beyond normal protocol. So the real question is this question asked her crazy or is she not? And if she's not, I would say it's cool to have a friend who's crazy that can give you crazy stories, but somebody to be that involved with your normal life who's crazy, that's somebody you want to distance yourself from. So that's how I would handle it, is I need to know, like, hey, again, and I can't really figure out why she would have been testing him and then ask the question, but it does seem like a realistic thing that might have happened. Yeah. So if that's the case, then you go, hey, you know what? He showed up and it's good and whatever. And thank God he doesn't know that I'm a lunatic who's testing him, or he does, but he's not saying anything. And so I'm lucky. Or you say, hey, you know what? That's not what this was. This wasn't a test. This girl's nuts. She sent these unsolicited pictures. I don't want her to be in my life. That's how it works. There's no other way. You can't continue to be friends with somebody like this. You can't. Unless you ask her to do it, you can't continue to be friends with her. So that's the problem, where she's asking this question. I can't figure out. It feels like she's holding something back, and I don't know what it is. I don't know which side it is. It's not telling me one way or the other.
I think it's odd that if it is her best friend, that she would be immediately suspicious when her best friend followed her boyfriend.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
That was the first part. Saying. Like, I wouldn't go through and check that. That makes me seem like the friend has, if it's not planned out, which I don't think it is, it seems that to me does seem too far. Like, why would you go online unless you were someone who was just looking for sympathy, which is entirely possible. That is something people do. It just seems more unlikely.
Yeah.
What is more likely is that her friend has done something, who she calls her best friend, has done something, maybe not to her, but to other people, and then she's still friends with this girl.
Right.
Like, she doesn't seem to trust this girl at all.
Right. Which is that's a
saying. Weird person to call your best friend.
Oh, I totally agree. But that's why it makes me think that she's crazy. That's where it is. It's like there's something that I'm not being told in this scenario. And so either she needs to stop testing her boyfriend or she needs to break up with her friend. One of those two, because this guy seems like he did the right thing, and I can't really think of a plausible reason why he wouldn't have done the right thing, or like why it would have made sense for him not to do the right thing. So I think he's okay in this story.
Unless the friend and him have something, and he's trying to just throw the friend under the bus first.
Right. What I'm saying is I can't make it plausible in my head where it works. Although if she is crazy, then she might just be like, hey, it's kind of a thrill to send it to you while you're sitting next to her or whatever. So that's possible.
Yeah.
In which case he's a piece of shit, and all those things. But
yeah.
I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know. I don't think we have enough about
that.
This.
Seems just as likely as your scenario of the girlfriend setting up the boyfriend.
I totally agree.
Are just as likely, but and just as absurd.
Yeah, 100%. So this is why I love College Confessions. College Confessions are people asking questions that are so unrealistic that they have to be true. Like, this is so unrealistic of a story to come out that I don't even know what to do. Like, I mean, I genuinely, like, I think about all of my friends, like even all of my friends, even somebody, like, I know for a fact there was a guy that I used to hang around with who was hitting on the girl that I was dating when I was younger, like when I was in around this age, like in college, 20-ish, something like that.
Yeah.
I know for a fact he was hitting on her. Like, I know he was doing it because she told me. That's fine. We weren't friends. Like, we were people who hung out near each other sometimes, but we weren't friends. So it happens, but none of my friends, even people who are like, they don't like me anymore. And they're like, I wasn't, you know, they wouldn't even admit that like we used to be friends or whatever, which is, you know, that happens. Like that's the way it works. But even those people, like they never tried to bang my girlfriend while I was dating somebody. So that's the thing. Like, I don't know. It's just, this whole thing doesn't make any sense. But I'm glad that we asked this question because it's an unbelievable question. I really enjoyed this. I think we did it to whatever extent possible that we could. I think we really sussed it out. This was a good episode. I really do. I think this is one of our better episodes. I enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it, please rate and review and subscribe to the podcast. We appreciate it. Please tell other people. It does help us out. Go, you know, subscribe to the YouTube, all that stuff. We are on social media. Check out the TikTok. Check out Instagram. It's different than the show. It's, you know, a little bit lighter. Well, I don't know. The show's pretty light, but you know, it's got some good stuff. We're posting on there daily, so go check that out. You know, again, follow and share and all the stuff. You know, again, all of this stuff does help us out. We really do appreciate it. If you have a question, you can hit us up at any of those places. You can also email us. What's the email?
The email is info.yourrelationshipsucks@gmail.com.
All right, so that's there for life advice, relationship questions, whatever you got. Hit us up. Also, check our link tree. You can find it on social media. It's Your Relationship Sucks. I think we got periods in between the words or something. Doesn't matter. You'll find it.
No,
hit the link
just
tree.
Your Relationship Sucks. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hit the link tree. We have Karma Cancer apparel available. It's very exciting. I love it. It looks good. Honestly, it really does. It looks really good. I think it's cool. If you like it, please, you know, consider purchasing one. And if you do purchase it, send us a picture because I want to see other people in it because I think it's awesome. Like just for me, that's my life dream. That's what I love to see. So please do that. But other than that, until next time, we will be back with another episode, helping more people stop making dumb decisions. That's what we're here for. We will see you next time. Thank you for listening. Talk to you then.